From the Vickery Studios in downtown Little Rock, this is Capitol View.
Good Sunday morning and welcome to Capitol View. Thanks for being with us. Well, in on Tuesday, out by Friday, the special session of the Arkansas legislature called by Governor Hutchinson, done just like that, and a lot was taken care of. The main task at hand, approved $87 million in bonds to provide incentives for Lockheed Martin to bring hundreds of jobs to Camden. Also passed a measure to move up next year's presidential primaries to March, which means Arkansas will mean more in the race for president. And changes to the way prosecutors go after DWI suspects, eliminating the need to prove intent. That'll keep the state from losing millions of dollars in federal highway funds. And we are certainly very happy to have Governor Asa Hutchinson here this morning to discuss all the action at the Capitol this week and a lot more that's been going on. Governor, welcome back to the program.
Bob, that was a very succinct summary of the session. That's well done.
Just like that. And it was. It came in and then it went out and a lot of things were accomplished. Want to get to that. But first, I want to talk to things, news that's been developing the past week or so, and that, of course, the flooding around the state. I know that at the end of the week you took a tour of some of the areas. What are some of the things you've seen and what are some of the needs out there you've seen?
Well, a great deal of flooding has occurred both on the Arkansas River, the Little Red, and other rivers that really impact southwest Arkansas particularly. And it's a great loss to crops, livestock that's having to be moved. There's homes that are in jeopardy, that are isolated because of the flooding. And it hasn't crested everywhere. I think it will soon today. And so we're watching it very carefully. I went out and declared 5 additional counties as part of the disaster declaration today. And
what is and basically the folks right now, I guess they'll get to Red Cross agencies like that, find out what's needed. So if anyone wants to help out, contact the Red Cross and those agencies and see what you can do through them.
That's right. The local county, they're doing a great job in volunteer coordinating, and part of it is keeping the levees up. Part of it is helping people move, whether it's livestock or whether it is furniture out of a house.
Moving on now to the session, and it was kind of everyone had a 3-day weekend, and then boom, Tuesday it was off to the races, and a lot of things were done up front. The Camden project. Explain this for folks and what we have opened up the door to.
Well, it's a great opportunity for Arkansas entering the arena of assembly of vehicle manufacturing, and we've never had a plant like this before. Other southern states do, and so this puts us in the competition for a vehicle assembly plant, but it's also of key military significance as the new Humvee or the Department of Defense vehicle that's going to protect our warfighters. So it's exciting from all of those prospects. We had to make sure Lockheed Martin has a competitive bid with the Department of Defense. We're competing with 2 other states, 2 other companies for this large defense procurement. We want it in Arkansas. This allows us to be competitive and really excited, hopeful that Lockheed Martin can obtain that.
With a project like this too, if we got this project, it's not just that alone that puts a footprint out here. It also sends a message to defense contractors, whether it be in this country or around the world, that hey, Arkansas is able to facilitate these things for us, and we may want to look closely at them for another project.
Absolutely. We've got bragging rights. If we can put this assembly plant here, it's a defense contract. We have other defense industry, aero defense industry, and so it's the supplier chain that will be able to grow our credibility as a state that has a workforce in vehicle assembly. So many advantages to getting your foot in the door and creating this opportunity.
And think about that too, the jobs that this will bring to the area.
It'll bring over 500 jobs over time, but just as importantly, it'll help us to retain the existing workforce of 550 there at Lockheed Martin. And if they get this contract, it's a 25-year commitment. That's a long time in the business world.
When do we get word on that? When will this thing be?
We expect August, the first decision we made by the Department of Defense, hopefully be finalized later this year. We'll see if we can win.
So more to come on that. Moving the primary. This is something that a lot of people have said in the past. Boy, the primary that we had was just kind of like, well, no one's really paying attention to it because we're not up with the other states. Now we've got this so-called SEC primary where we vote a lot closer with the other states or on the same day. Big move?
It is a big move. It's It's going to be some education of the voters, reminding that we've moved the primary, the filing dates are earlier. So there's adjustments, of course, but to me the motivating factor is simply about the Arkansas voter. They will have a meaningful opportunity to participate in the presidential campaign in the primary season. That is of extraordinary significance. You can't put a dollar amount on it, even though this is cost neutral.
Right.
But moving that date's worth a little trouble because our young people, first-time voters, will get excited about this campaign.
And getting the young voter base energized is always important and very difficult for a lot of politicians, getting these kids involved and interested in the process.
Well, as exciting as I am as a candidate running for governor, I know that it's the presidential campaigns that excite new voters. They set a habit for a lifetime.
You guys have a trip planned heading up to France. Air show out there, and it's not just to sit back and watch a bunch of planes fly around. This is one of the largest air shows, I think, in the world. But it's vitally important for defense contractors. We can get back a little bit, but also states and also other countries come here, and I mean, there's a lot of business being taken care of.
Oh, absolutely. There's at least 5 governors I know that will be there competing for their states. Arkansas will be there amidst of them. You'll have all the major defense contractors. Of course, whenever we look at Dassault Falcon Jet in Arkansas, parent company in France, it's important to be there to make sure that we keep that good relationship. We'll also be going to Germany. Some of the banks there have investment in Arkansas projects. Between France and Germany, there's a number of thousands of employees here in Arkansas that's owned by foreign-based companies. So hopefully we can build on that, and that's an important engagement for us.
Any specific meetings set up that you want to talk about?
Actually, well, we have a lot of meetings set up, but no, we can't talk about them. And you know, a lot of it is planting seeds. Sometimes it's doing a little spade work on what previous governors have done. So you build and you build, you have that consistency there, and it does pay off.
Well, and that part of the country too, Dassault seems extremely happy with Arkansas and also the workforce here. They're able to hire the folks that they need to get the job done.
Absolutely, and you know, they give us bragging rights. You know, hey, call Dassault. You know, they can tell you what a good workforce
Good
we
reference to have.
The support that we have. Lockheed Martin is a good support reference because, man, they persuaded folks that Camden, Arkansas is the right place because of their existing workforce there. So that helps us. We have a message, and again, going back to the computer science initiative, that's a talking point for us everywhere we go, that we're the only state that has this initiative and shows the seriousness that we have in training a strong competitive workforce.
We were talking about that a little bit too, and you've been on a tour around the state talking to high school kids and trying to get them energized, and you kind of give them the example that, hey, you've got so many math classes you can take, or you can take so many math classes in a computer science class, and you kind of get them interested, and that's what you want to do, is spark their interest.
I do, and when they say, well, I want to be a farmer, I want to go into agriculture or be a doctor rather than computer science, I say computer science, computer coding is what gives us the applications that control the water going into our crops. It has application in every industry, but the big thing is I play the video from code.org that we have permission to play. That relates to them, they get excited about it, and they see the opportunities.
That's interesting too. And mentioning, you know, agriculture, I don't think there's any other industry out there that's advancing more technology-wise than anything else.
Oh, every step of the way, and much of it's computer software, manufacturing, it's robotics, and so it touches every field, it's foundational. Not everyone will take it, not asking everyone to take it, but if we can increase that workforce with that training and skills, we'll bring more jobs here. All
right, Governor, thank you very much for your time this morning. Certainly appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. Great to be with you.
Great to be with you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. When we come back, not everyone happy with changes being made in the special session. Our political long table discussion will begin. Senator Joyce Elliot will be here along with Bill Vickery. They'll weigh in on some of the big ticket items. You're watching Capitol View on this Sunday morning.
Enjoy more restful sleep, relieve sore muscles, reduce stress. How about coming home to a hot tub from Townley? Hot Spring Spas feature the Ace saltwater system. It's virtually hands-free water care. Townley offers free-flow spas with plug-and-play technology, priced as low as $3,500. Fill it up, plug it in, and enjoy. And right now, receive a free $1,500 Ace saltwater system.
Ah, Townley. you 310 in the middle of the highway, you 310,000.
Absolute Rocky Bayou Creek Land Auction, Wednesday, June 3rd at 12 p.m. 260 acres offered in 3 tracts and combinations, 95 acres in improved pasture, and 165 acres in hardwood timber. 1 mile of Rocky Bayou Creek frontage, located on Wild Haven Road just off Highway 14 in Mountain View, Arkansas. Also selling 3 rental homes. Everything seller regardless of price to the highest bidder on auction day.
Sold it, sold it, sold it, $1,750,000.
Success Vision has great prices and same-day service.
I got 2 pairs of no lines for only $99.
No line bifocals for $99?
Glasses at the mall are too expensive.
The other place, they only offer a few frames at discount prices. Success Vision has a huge selection of discount frames.
My glasses never felt so good.
That's why I keep coming back.
For 99 in an hour for less. Promise to pay Success Vision Express.
At Tzatziki's, we appreciate your business. That's why we work hard to create a fresh, casual, and delicious dining experience for every customer, every time.
At Tzatziki's, we consider it an honor to serve you a perfect meal, priced right with a smile.
At Tzatziki's, we guarantee delicious food and great service.
Join us at any of our Central Arkansas locations, Little Rock, Conway, and North Little Rock.
You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
And welcome back to Capitol View, everyone. Joining us now, Democratic State Senator Joyce Elliot, Republican strategist Bill Vickery. Guys, welcome back to the program.
Good morning.
Thank you. It has been a short but very busy week at the state capitol. I know where Senator Elliott would like to begin, but first let's begin with the $87 million in bonds. This moved through. It seems to be without too much, I guess, pushback. Good move?
Yeah, listen.
At least to tee this thing up, because this isn't a done deal. This kind of tees it up for Lockheed Martin.
It also shows that the state of Arkansas is open for business, that you've got a legislature, you've got an executive branch, you've got folks who would like to see jobs brought into the state. They're willing to have the state put some skin in the game for industry. Says a lot when you see these kinds of corporations. Lockheed Martin, very good shot. I think there's a really good shot. You could see Humvees built down in and around Camden. Not just the jobs that it creates, more jobs that it saves and helps to ensure. So a good bipartisan, all working in the same direction on that. So I thought that was very productive all week.
It's almost one of those issues where there's going to be bipartisan support for it, because this is the way we've chosen to do economic development in a big way. Now that's the unfortunate part, is this is the way we've chosen to do it. Because the major 3 things that we need for sustained economic development, where we're not constantly put in this position, are to address our infrastructure, quality of life, and do better about education and job training. So that's something down the road I think we need to take a look at. Because I live in a district where I got pushback from a lot of people about, oh, you're just expanding the military-industrial complex. That is not a wrong statement. But unfortunately, it's where we have ourselves at this point, and we are well positioned, I think, to be competitive since this is the way we're going to do it, and it's certainly going to bring much-needed jobs to the Camden area.
And it would bring other industries would follow.
It would.
Support industries.
It absolutely would, because there is anticipation that this 125-mile radius is going to be considered Lockheed Martin kind of suppliers, and those jobs count among the ones that we're anticipating as well, with the over 500 jobs initially, and then maintaining the over 500 jobs we have there right now.
If the Army's going to drive Humvees, I'd like to build them in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Right.
And so,
and the Army's going to drive Humvees.
Yeah, I think we know that.
Yeah.
So.
Moving the primary, Senator, this is something a lot of folks thought this was a great thing. Let's get in the game. Folks saying, well, maybe we should just left it alone. This is going to add some confusion to when we should vote. Now we've got a whole campaign out there telling folks, re-educating them on when we're supposed to vote, why we're voting now in the so-called SEC primary. Your thoughts on this? You've got a few?
A few. I just find it a colossally obtuse move. I have yet to have somebody express to me some well-placed, compelling reasons for doing so. And it just turns out, and this will be the one partisan thing I'll say here, the Republicans simply had the votes to do it, and they did it. And they did it, I think, at the expense of our committee process, which I think is too bad, but by just jerking the bill from the committee. That's something we just don't do unless there is some kind of clear, compelling reason. The last time that's happened was 10 years ago in 2005. And in the last 2 months, Republicans have done it twice within the last 2 months, moving a bill from committee, by force. And this is something that's not good for our institution. But the big idea, though, is that I think Arkansas pretty much is a foregone conclusion. And so we are just mucking up the election for everybody else and really playing havoc with timing for people in a way I think is not good for our state.
Yeah, I would say that, look, there's a process in place that's been followed for 150 odd years. Democrats ran the state legislature for 150 years, so they didn't have to resort to some of these tactics because they had every seat. You see Republicans now in a committee that's split evenly between 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans asserting their majority, which they can do under the rules. And so I would disagree with Senator Elliott in that it's somehow bad for the process because elections matter and Republicans rule the roost now in Arkansas, and I don't see that changing anytime in the near future. So that was the decision. We move forward. Now we can talk about whether moving the primaries up. Less than the presidential primary, because I happen to believe we won't see really a lot of action. I think you can see Hillary Clinton, barring some major issue, will be the Democratic nominee, won't spend any money in Arkansas. And if indeed Mike Huckabee is in the race, you won't see any money spent in Arkansas because he'll have that pretty much sewn up as a favorite son in the primary. What we're really talking about now, though, I think is important and interesting dynamic, is moving state representative races up, is moving some of these very key state issue races up into early March, moving the fiscal session of the Arkansas legislature back. Now, that's a dynamic that we'll have to see how that plays out, but
what's
a lot more than just the presidential here, I guess.
Because it seems like moving the fiscal session, something kind of was under the radar for the most part through this process. What's the dynamic change there?
Well, one of the problems that we're going to have is it's the fiscal session, and we're in a position where we're supposed to let agencies know the idea. They will know what their budgets are going to be, say, at least by the end of February. Now we're way into April. Maybe the end of April, the new fiscal year starts July. And schools, agencies, everybody's trying to plan. And now we're putting them in a position of being really squeezed and not knowing exactly what's going to happen with their budgets. It's also, whether anybody cares about it or not, this is the planting season. A lot of legislators are farmers. And now we've got to think about that. And, and people have made plans about what they're doing with their schedules. It's great for incumbents, this whole thing that we're doing, but for everybody else, and I think everything else, it's just wreaking havoc with something that's already in place.
It will be interesting to see. One dynamic here that I don't know if anyone has thought about this is you could have a couple of 3 lame ducks who have lost in a primary process and are a part of creating the budget for the state of Arkansas. That's a little bit unprecedented. That's a dynamic I think that yet to be seen. But it certainly will be interesting to see. We're talking about a cold weather primary. And again, using more football analogies, so we can have an SEC presidential primary. We're talking about a cold weather primary for both parties in the state of Arkansas. Be interesting to see how that plays out too.
I want to put out one last thing though, because just serving in the institution. When Democrats had the majority, there was not this pulling out bills from committees, even though there were committees, and the one I'm serving on right now, state agencies, we had 4 and 4, or we had 5 and 4, where Republicans really had power. That was sensible, because what you do is you use your power the best way you can. And just as a key point, the Equal Rights Amendment, something I desperately would like to have seen come from state agencies, Republicans were able to block that. But that's okay. Nobody ever pulled it out. And that's just something you don't do unless you have a compelling...
Can that card be played too many times, Bill?
No, listen. I think you have rules in place. What's interesting about this is that there was a point in time when you could have gotten every state senator that was a Republican up on this stage at one time. I mean, inside a phone booth, there were so few of us. I think it's taking, with all due respect to my colleague here, who I respect a great deal, you know, this is a time when there was a clear and genuine mandate that the voters went to the polls in November over the last 3 elections to indicate. And so if this proves to be a disaster, the primary voters and the general election voters can act accordingly in 16.
Well, the other thing the voters expect from us, so no matter who the majority is for us to act prudently. There's nothing prudent about this, because after the Republicans pulled the bill out of committee, and then there was all this angst over, oh my gosh, we don't have enough votes now to suspend the rules so that we don't spend another $25,000 a day to stay here, so that what we have done will look as if it's good policy. So then it was up to the Democrats to bail out the Republicans, who are the clear majority, who could have done something that was different, like honor the process. They did not do that. I'm happy to say, though, that the Democrats did prevent the state from being charged $50,000 more because of an act of imprudence. You'd agree with that, would you not?
It is glad. I'm glad to see some fiscal conservatives on the Democratic side of things.
Yeah, fiscal conservative, fiscal responsibility.
For the first time in a while. Look, I think the reality boils down to this. There was a push by the administration and legislative leadership to move up the primaries. We'll see. It's going to happen for a year. Then we'll see how it plays out. I don't think you can underestimate, though, the idea of this changing the state representative races and a lot of these local races, and we'll see what happens as a result of that.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the length of the after we've had the primary, then the length of time we have to campaign before the general election?
Yeah.
It also, go ahead.
I was just saying, people will be campaigning in December.
Yes.
I mean, you'll have people going door to door at Christmas time.
Merry Christmas. Well, then it also gives us plenty of content on Capitol View.
That it does.
Guys, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank
Certainly
you.
appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, thank you.
When we come back, 7 decades after D-Day, an Arkansan who was there honored for his service on Memorial Day. What he has to say about his service and the men who fought alongside him but didn't return home. You've got a Capitol View this Sunday morning.
5 at 310 in the middle of 5 at 310,000.
Absolute Cattle Farm and Equipment Auction. Friday, June 5th at 10 a.m. 960 acres offered in 11 tracks and combinations. 2 homes, 3 barns, and a 17-acre private lake. 9 ponds, improved pasture, and timberland. Located in Pulaski and Faulkner counties on Fortson Road in Jacksonville, Arkansas. Plus equipment, vehicles, and cattle. Everything sell regardless of price on auction day. For full auction details, go to wilsonauctioneers.com.
Sold it, sold it, sold it, $1,750,000.
Frankly, I'm not very good at games.
He really isn't. That's why I got him the new Maximum Money Game Pack from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Play 5 games on 1 card with 60 chances to win up to $250,000.
The Maximum Money Game Pack. 5 games, 1 card. New from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Celebrate the opportunities.
It's so easy. Just scratch.
Now at Empire Today, save big on new floors with our buy 1, get 2 free sale. Buy floors for 1 room and get carpet, hardwood, or laminate for 2 more rooms. Free when you pay for padding and installation. Empire makes flooring easy. We bring samples to your home, give free estimates during your appointment, and professionally install your project right. So save big with Empire's buy 1, get 2 free sale. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Success Vision has great prices, and you get them the same day.
Same day service.
Same day service.
Buying my glasses was so easy.
I got 2 pairs of no lines for $99, and they were ready the same day.
The discount stores all said I had to wait days. I'm sorry, I just can't wait days for my glasses.
Being able to see is kind of important. Success Vision had them for me the same day.
2 p.m. for 99 in an hour for less. Come to the Success Vision Express.
Get your tickets today at NWAchampionship.com.
You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
This past Monday, Arkansans paused to honor the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of this country. But also on this Memorial Day, a soldier who is still with us, receiving an honor 70 years in the making. Capitol View's Stephanie Sharp spoke to an Arkansas veteran who stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day and now proudly wears the highest honor the French government has to offer.
Paying tribute to those who fought for our country.
But today, we honor those that have served us.
Hundreds gathered at the Arkansas State Veterans Cemetery to remember servicemen and women who put their lives on the line. One man being honored.
Harold Kendrick participated in D-Day mission in Normandy.
World War II veteran, 92-year-old Arkansan Harold Kendrick. He sheds a tear while receiving the French Legion of Honor.
For an old man, it's hard on the heart.
The medal he wears proudly on his chest, the highest decoration in France.
This is one of the greatest moments in my life's history of 92 years.
Kendrick earned 6 Bronze Stars while serving in France. He receives this distinction 70 years later from a French dignitary. And while he's proud of the honor, Kendrick shares it with the men who fought beside him but never returned home.
I'm going to accept that for them. Not only me, but them is laying in them graves out there.
Other servicemen honored to see him receive this award.
And I'm almost over here tearing up as he's being awarded.
And 71 years after storming the beaches of Normandy, Kendrick has another reminder of his bravery and service.
I keep looking at this beautiful thing on there. I think I'll sleep with it.
Stephanie Sharp reporting there. Mr. Kendrick says, and they all say this, if he could do it again, he would tomorrow. But his wife of 56 years says only if she can go with him. We're back. Wrap things up right after this. You're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning.
Ferguson's Furniture in Benton, where the best furniture is on sale up to 50% off. And up to 60 months interest-free on bedrooms, dining rooms, genuine leather, and the best selection of Lazy Boy furniture in the state. Don't miss this store-wide sale at Ferguson's, next to Walmart in Benton.
The lab's in the store. I got my glasses in a few hours. Why doesn't everybody do this? I walked in and out with my glasses an hour later.
Just say no to waiting days for glasses.
I watched them make my glasses in the store.
I love saving money and time. At Success Vision, I got great prices and my glasses in the same day. Why doesn't everyone do it that way?
For 99 in an hour for less. College today, Success Vision Express.
Former Razorback DJ Williams has everyone talking about KARK4 today.
Star Wars night, and the Force is in this episode.
See what everybody is talking about. Weekday mornings from 4 to 7. You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
That does it for this week's show. We're off next week. Make note of that. We'll see you again in June. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.
Here in Arkansas, severe weather can move in quickly. And when it's time to seek shelter from the storm, you don't want to be out in the storm. That's where Royal Windows and More can help. Take a look at our new in-garage, in-ground storm shelters. You don't have to run to an outdoor shelter when bad weather rolls in. Just step into your garage. Our popular storm shelter designs are all steel installed flush with your concrete garage floor. And our guys get the job done in less than 1 day. We have sizes to fit anywhere from 6 to 12 people with easy entry and exit. These are EF5 rated tornado shelters that exceed FEMA standards and are backed with a lifetime warranty. Don't be caught out in the storm this severe weather season. Call now, receive a $250 discount certificate on your new storm shelter. Payments as low as $99 a month. Call Royal Windows and More today at 1-800-848-5426.
Outdoor living begins at Townley Pool and Spa. Spice up summer with Grill Dome, the premier choice for cooking with natural charcoal. Grill Dome features extra thick ceramic walls, rust-proof stainless steel, and an easy lift lid. Townley is also Little Rock's largest Yeti dealer. We have super insulated coolers that hold the cold for days. And remember the music with Soundcast outdoor speakers. They're Bluetooth enabled and weather resistant for parties on the go.
Ah, Townley.
Absolute Rocky Bayou Creek Land Auction, Wednesday, June 3rd at 12 p.m. 260 acres offered in 3 tracts and combinations. 95 acres in improved pasture and 165 acres in hardwood timber. 1 mile of Rocky Bayou Creek frontage. Located on Wild Haven Road just off Highway 14 in Mountain View, Arkansas. Also selling 3 rental homes.